Hello again, Sharpshot 21. We are back on the truck. This time we're going to start with cleaning parts up and getting parts broken down, pulling U-joints and ball joints. We got some tools for that. We'll get the garage lights turned on here and moved fully inside, and we'll get started. So let's get to it. Alright, garage is getting a little cluttered with this project, but we're going to start to put pieces back on hopefully shortly. First thing I want to show you is this. This is the ball joint press kit, but we're going to also use it for U-joints. This is an OMT. It's a standard horseshoe style one. I didn't get the one with all of the bits and pieces, but you can see it's got most of the bits and pieces. This is, if you've never used one of these before, it's a fun, or not fun, but it's a very handy little tool. So I'll show you how this thing sets up, and let me show you how to do it for a ball joint. Get the ball joints out, and then we'll switch it over, and I'll show you how to set it up for a U-joint. So this is the passenger side knuckle. And I'm going to use the, not correct tools for this. But you do need to pull the gray zerks off, because that's going to get in the way. So you pull both of those. Alright, so these have to come out in the reverse order of going in. So the bottom's got to come out first, then the top, going in, bottom's got to go in, then the top. So, first thing to do is to find a cup that slides over. That's not it. That looks to be the correct cup. So if you got the OMT set, the S cup looks like it'll work. And then you put the flange on. That was in backwards for whatever reason. So you pop this cup over. You lock it in. And you snug this in, and then you crank on it, and it's going to push it through. You move this whole assembly down. You have to unthread this from this end, run it through this hole, and then set it up. Then I'll show you the reverse once we've got these apart. Well, I'll show you the reverse once we get it cleaned up and apart. All right, one thing I want to mention before I forget. Now these Moog ball joints come with right angle grease zerks. Now, before you put these in, I tend to like to pull these plugs out. They come pre-greased, at least with a little assembly grease. But I like to take these thread them in. As tight as I can get them. And then I like to take a paint pen and I'm going to put a dot right where that zerk stopped. And I do that so that when I take the zerk back out and I put the plug in. I do that for a couple of reasons. It's not so important on the bottom ones, but it is helpful. It's more important on the top ones because you want to be able, these are serviceable U-joint or ball joints. You want to be able to service the ball joint without disassembling the whole knuckle again. So what you got to do is make sure that, especially on the top one, this zerk is pointed either back or forwards, not in or out. That way you can get your grease gun to clip onto this and, you know, actually put grease in. So when you go to line this up to put it in, you can orientate this dot, if my knuckle's here and my flange is here and my pitman arm mount or my tie rod mount is here, I can either put it in the knuckle like this or like this so that I can get to the grease zerk. Bottom is less important because there isn't an axle tube in the way. You still want it, forward or back, and I try to line up both of these so that it's, going the same direction. But, little tip for you on that front. Just a pip with a paint pen. So we'll get these all marked up and then we'll get them installed. Okay, next step is splitting this U-joint out. Now these caps I've already got freed up and the clips off. The other ones, I got the clips off as well. These are internally clipped U-joints. So there's no external clip on the caps. You actually press it in, put the C-clip on, and then if it relaxes back out, the C-clip retains it, instead of the C-clip being in the yoke here, or so similar path on this front. So we can go with, a much smaller cup. In fact, we can even go smaller than that. We can probably go actually, the boss here is the right size, so we're just gonna a lot of these ones have been beat to remove type settings. So, if it's That appears to be as close as it's going to get.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. New videos will be aired every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. New streams at 9 p.m.